We are, as a people, inherently and historically opposed to secret society, opposed to secret oaths, opposed to secret proceedings, secret proceedings. No official of my administration, whether his rank is high or low, should interpret my words here tonight as an excuse to censor the news, to stifle dissent, to cover up our mistakes, or to withhold from the press and the public the facts they deserve to know.
All right. Welcome back to Conspiracy Corner Podcast, everyone. This is Abe, your host. Fourth podcast for today. Dude, I'm banging them out. I ain't gonna lie. I get in the mood to podcast, man. I mean, honestly, I tell you guys all the time, man, I wish I could do this for a living. Yeah. Been busy as fuck today, so I was expecting to have the day off, but I'm going into work tonight. Running on 4 hours, so wish me luck. Say a little prayer. You do that voodoo that you do so well. Cleaned out my Cadillac to get it junked and scrapped and towed off. I just realized something now. I can make a bunch of phone calls tomorrow to get it pulled off, but technically the Cadillac is in my wife's name, so I can't technically junk it. She's gonna have to do all that jazz. But I can at least do the phone calls for her tomorrow. Did that, weed-eated the front and backyard, and now I just did some dishes. So I've been doing chores all day and a little bit of sleep, and now I'm gonna go into work. Should be off tomorrow though, so as long as I'm not like completely exhausted, I will probably put out multiple podcasts tomorrow. But this is the fourth one today for June 24th, 2026. I have a Buy Me a Coffee account set up in the link below. If you donate to the channel, I will send you a book or a bumper sticker. These things are durable as hell. My wife has one on a coffee mug. The thing's been washed 1,000 times. I had one on my car. It had been rained on, snowed on, sunshine beaming on it, still held up. And you'll also get a bookmark. I will sign the back of the bookmark. Unless you don't want me to, you can always just message through Buy Me a Coffee. But yeah, helps pay for pens, papers, notebooks. Helps me pay for this new car that I just bought. So, so I wanted to do one more episode on Disclosure Day. If you don't know, we've done 3 episodes on Disclosure Day. One of them was before the movie came out. We were just talking about the alien psyop, how it was very interesting, and I don't think it was a coincidence that this movie came out the same time as the whole alien disclosure stuff is going on. I personally think it's a distraction from the Epstein files, and data centers, possibly. We did an episode on that. It's just called Disclosure Day. We did an episode on, apparently there was some conspiracy going around that if you watch the movie, it's demons will attach themselves to you and you'll be cursed. So we did an episode on that. And then we did one more episode, the last episode, and it was talking about Steven Spielberg saying that if you watch this film, it'll destroy your belief in Christianity. So I did create a Disclosure Day playlist. If you're interested in the subject of this movie and the controversies and those 3 subjects, go check out the playlist on YouTube. If you're listening on Spotify, I'll link at least 2 of those episodes down below in related episodes. So I wanted to kind of close out the whole the Disclosure Day mini series that I unintentionally created. I wasn't planning on making it into a mini series, but Disclosure Day finally came out. And it flopped. So we're gonna get into that. I'm actually not surprised. So my thoughts on this, they're thinking that it's not even gonna break even. Like, we're gonna get into the article and some of the finance part of it, but this is why Disclosure Day may not break even at the box office. So here was my thoughts. I still want to see the movie because I have a mini series, a conspiracy cinema series. Go check out that playlist. I like to watch conspiracy related movies and then review them. I also do just review sometimes movies based off of true stories too. But yeah, go check out that series. I would like to do more of those episodes, but life is busy and it's kind of hard to find time to sit down and watch a 2-hour movie sometimes. Especially when I gotta mow the lawn or do chores around the house, or we're running and gunning, or, you guys are adults, life is busy. Or I should hope you're an adult and not a kid listening to this. But I still plan on watching the movie. I'm not gonna lie. If you would have... I still like to cover ufology or ancient astronaut theory just for fun, for shits and giggles. But if you would have... Go listen to, like, my earliest episodes on this podcast, when I was, like, a super big ancient astronaut theorist. I was all into this shit. Not so much anymore. I think the whole alien thing is a psyop. I'm not even sure what shape the Earth is. I'm a geocentrist. I still like to hear abduction stories and UFO stories just because it's fun and interesting. I'm a big fan of, like, Art Bell and shit, but I'm not gonna lie, like, whenever they're like, oh, this Disclosure Day movie's coming out, I immediately was, like, suspect of it, because it's like, it took you four years to make this movie, so that means 4 years ago you would have had to have known that your movie was coming out during the actual alien disclosure. Which, by the way, that whole thing has been a bust. I've always been suspect of Spielberg anyways, because if you look at his films, like, the Indiana Jones series is all conspiracy shit. Ark of the Covenant, Holy Grail, the 13 Crystal Skulls, the Anunnaki, E.T., Close Encounters of the Third Kind. So, Spielberg's a geezer. He's what, like 80 years old or something? I was already expecting Spielberg to be out of touch and still into the alien thing. Beings that I've been, like, a conspiracy theorist, like, almost my whole life. It's kind of funny now that I'm, like, so deep down the rabbit hole that I'll run across somebody who's like, oh, you like conspiracies? What do you think about aliens? And it's like, oh, like, you just woke up. Like, and it's not that I'm bashing them, but it's like, bro, if you're, like, on alien level, like, you haven't even reached Flat Earth or Tartaria, or, like, you're still on alien level. Like, aliens and Bigfoots and ghosts, that's all, like, baby conspiracy level, like, white belt shit. It's like, homie, I ain't trying to brag, but I'm a black belt, I'll still talk to him, but it is kind of one of those things, you kind of roll your eyes in your head, like, oh god, here we go, aliens. And I just feel like Spielberg, oh, one thing though, I think that movie Paul, whenever I think it's Paul that's on the phone with Spielberg at Area 51, talking to him on the phone. I think that was Hollywood kind of doing predictive programming and revelation of the method, Lesser Magic, telling us like, hey, Spielberg gets phone calls of what he knows what's going on, you know. But I feel like he's just kind of like baby level conspiracy, and like, cause he should have read the room. Like most everyone has either, they have two mindsets of either they have pretty much accepted that aliens are real, like the whole alien conspiracy thing it's not like the 80s and 90s, like it's pretty mainstream now. Even just regular blue-pilled people are like, yeah, I believe in aliens, you know. Yeah, you know, because they're all into space and shit. They either have that reaction or they have the reaction of, oh, aliens, that's a psyop, you know, because a lot of people are awake now, you know. Quite a bit. Conspiracy theories in general have become mainstream. So it just lets me know that Spielberg is out of touch. I think that's part of the reason why this movie bombed, and it probably is not even going to break even. I've been watching, because it's been popping up in my feed, because I looked up Disclosure Day here and there. Just, I wanted to, all these reviews, everyone has been watching this movie here recently, and I'm a big cinephile. I love movies. I try to go, we were going like every Tuesday, we were going up to the local theater because they have $6 movie tickets, and we have a bucket. So that, and I knew a guy who worked up there, so he was like hooking us up with shit like free popcorn or getting us in for free, like awesome shit, you know. Which he's moving, by the way. Jason, I interviewed him, Jason Donahue. Go check out that interview. He's a horror actor. It's in my interviews playlist. But what was I saying? Oh, I'm a big cinephile. Like, my dad was a huge movie collector. We had a whole room that he styled after Blockbuster. It had movie shelves in it. Like, the whole entire room was movies. DVDs, VHS. It was fucking awesome. Every day we would watch like 1 or 2 movies before school. We'd come home after dinner and watch 1 or 2 movies and go to bed. If he wasn't watching like TMZ or Seinfeld, you know. So yeah, I love film, dude. I grew up on films. I would consider myself a cinephile, so. And I have that mindset of, if you tell me not to do something, I'm gonna do it. I have the spirit of rebellion in me, as my mother would say. You got the spirit of rebellion in you. Yeah, Mom, I do. This country was built on rebellion. I don't see rebellion as a bad thing. So, I still want to watch the movie, and I'm still very curious about it. When I do watch it, I'll probably review it. So I lied to you, though. There will be one more probably Disclosure Day episode of my review on it. But I want to get into this article. So why Disclosure Day might not break even at the box office. Oh, one more thing. I think another reason why this film bombed is his little remarks on Christianity. And I was looking through comment sections. There were even atheists who were like, dude, you know, like, bashing Christians is so last year. And I need to work on that myself. I've said it throughout the years. I went through Christian religious abuse, but so I kind of have a reason why I despise Christianity, but I need to work on it because I'm sure I do have Christian listeners. If you're new, I'm a witch, by the way. But, and it's so stupid. It shows you how out of touch he is. That he has no pulse, no sense of like what's hip nowadays. Because it's like Christianity has rose a lot since, honestly, the QAnon movement, the rise of conservatism, Charlie Kirk's death. A lot of people became Christians after that. As weird as it sounds, the war with Ukraine and Russia, a lot of people are joining Russian Orthodox and shit. People are getting into Orthodoxy, Catholicism. It's very interesting, but past, I'd say 5 or 6 years, well, I'd say about the past 5 years, man, there's been a large rise in Christianity. So for him to say such a stupid thing before his movie's coming out, it's like, bro, how dumb are you? Do you want your movie to flop? So like he pissed off like tons of people who wanted to see this film, but were boycotting this film because he said that. It's not real bright. And you would think as someone who's Jewish, like he knows how to make money. Like he had to have thought that through. You know, you would think being Jewish, you would be good with money, but so it says, while Disclosure Day has had a strong opener for an original film, several box office predictions suggest the sci-fi Steven Spielberg flick could struggle to make a profit on ticket sales alone. Featuring a star-studded cast with Emily Blunt, Josh O'Connor, Colin Firth, and Coleman Domingo, the Universal Pictures movie has been pitched as Spielberg's modern response to his prior UFO-centric work, namely 1982's E.T., The Extraterrestrial, and Close Encounters of the Third Kind. The film leans heavily in the recent declassifications of U.S. government documents concerning the aliens and unidentified. This is just a summary of the movie. We've already covered that. So, hang on just a second. I had the wrong article. So Disclosure Day crashes hard at box office as break-even point looks tough to reach. So it's already crashing at the box office. It's already considered a flop. And they're already saying that it might not even break even. Steven Spielberg's, which honestly makes me a little happy because it's like, okay, people aren't falling for the psyop. Another thing too is when people think Spielberg, they think of his old shit that was amazing. Steven Spielberg's old shit is amazing films, but throughout the years, his quality has dropped down since like the last Indiana Jones is. Yeah, like he hasn't been making good shit. And I think a lot of people, if it had been any other director, it probably would have gotten better reviews. But because it's Steven Spielberg, people are going to be harder on him. If he was smart, he would have done like what authors do and directed the film under a pseudonym. Just saying. Steven Spielberg's latest sci-fi thriller, Disclosure Day, just hit a major wall at the box office in only its second weekend. The alien film now faces serious questions about whether it can earn back its massive budget. So it might not even break even. This might be a loss for him. And honestly, he kind of deserves it, like with the whole Christian comments, you know. And I'm not even Christian. Like I said, I'm a witch, but Disclosure Day falls at second weekend's box office. Steven Spielberg's Disclosure Day fell 62%, so over half, in its second weekend at the domestic box office. What is domestic box office? What does that even mean? I know what box office means, but like... The alien thriller earned $17.2 million, which sounds like a lot, but there's no telling how much they put into it. Obviously more than 17 million if they haven't even broke even yet. So, and that was from 3,824 North American theaters, including, according to Forbes magazine. That frame pushed the film's 10-day domestic tally to roughly 78.3 million after its 44.5 million opening. So globally, Disclosure Day has collected $160.4 million so far. So that's a shit ton of money. If it hasn't even broke even, that means they spent more than $160 million on this movie. By the way, you know, it makes me so sad. Like, look, I love cinema. I just explained that. I love movies, but we have people who can barely afford to live with 2 jobs. There used to be this phrase, there's starving kids in Africa, eat your vegetables. There's starving kids in America. Like, And it bothers me. It makes me so sad that there are so many people out here struggling, and Hollywood is just blowing money on not even good films anymore. It's all just propaganda now. When that money could be used for better roads, snow plows here in Kentucky. They suck at plowing around here. Yeah, like there could be so much. See, I want to be rich. I ain't gonna lie. I want to be a millionaire or a billionaire, because I would do actual philanthropy. And I know he does philanthropy, like he donates money to like Jewish causes, but you guys know how I feel about all of that shit, like the Holocaust, and I'm not a denier, but I have a lot of questions and the math ain't adding up. So, $160 million altogether this movie has made, and it still hasn't even broke even. Split between 78.3 million domestic and 82.2 million international. Oh, okay. So domestic means American box office, and international, it's only 82.2 million. So almost even. And international is like every other country besides America. So it's mostly Americans that are watching. Almost half of the viewers are American. It makes me wonder, like, does that mean Americans in general probably are falling for the alien psyop more than any other country? Because I have seen maps of like UFO encounters, and like America is like this gigantic red blob, and every other country is just like little polka dots of red. Which I believe there is a alien psyop here in America, definitely. Universal Pictures released the PG-13 film on June 12th across 45 markets simultaneously. David Koepp scripted the 2-hour and 25-minute thriller from Spielberg's original story, starring Josh O'Connor, Emily Blunt, and Colin Firth. So it's a 2.5-hour movie. Like I said, that's another reason, dude. Like I find it's hard to find time to do conspiracy cinema, because like I don't have 2.5 hours to sit here and watch, honestly, quite frankly, a shit movie from the reviews. I have watched a couple reviews too, man, and people have described it almost like the movie 2012. Of it's just the entire movie is just one gigantic action chase scene, which I watched 2012 when I was like a teenager, and I was actually smoking weed. And the only scene that I really truly remember is like Woody Harrelson, and he's got a conspiracy talk radio show, and it's like the only calm scene that I remember. And I thought it was because I was high, that maybe I just was like tripping balls, you know? But the movie felt literally like a roller coaster ride, and that's the way this has been described as. There's like, the whole thing is just one action scene. Another thing too, what I was talking about Spielberg being out of touch. Apparently, so these two people get the files, the alien files, right? And there's supposed to be, spoiler, they're supposed to be rushing and going towards a television broadcasting studio, and they're going to break in and download the files and upload it all across the world live. That shows you how out of touch Spielberg is. Like, the only person I know that really watches TV is like my mother-in-law. She watches like the news and actual television, but she's an old lady. And like people in the comment sections were like, why don't they already had the files. Why don't they just upload it to YouTube? Like, upload it to YouTube or Rumble, and like more people would see it. Like, no one watches mainstream news anymore. It's already been proven that like news channels like Fox and CNN, they fake their views because they sign contracts with airports to have their news stations playing 24/7 in the airports. And they sign contracts with restaurants too. Like, hey, we'll give you a certain amount per month, a check, if you play nothing but Fox News, and just tell your customers we can't change the channel. I'm not even joking. Look it up. It's fucking crazy. Their views are fake. Like Ben Shapiro. Ben Shapiro is literally putting out full episodes as ads now, so he can boost his views. That's how much he's fallen off. So, breaking even remains an uphill battle for the sci-fi title. A reported $115 million production budget places the global break-even threshold between $287 million and $300 million. Universal also allocated $80 million toward marketing, further raising the financial bar for profitability. So they spent $80 million just on marketing. And it sounded to me, from my litmus test of just reading people's comments, that there was quite a few people who wanted to see this movie, but because Spielberg said that stupid shit about Christianity, a shit ton of them dropped off. Like, he literally fucked himself, man. And honestly, too, a lot of people will read a review because money's so tight, the economy sucks so much, that you have to pick and choose what you want to see. Unless you got a cool theater like me up the road. Like I said, they do $6 tickets, any movie on Tuesdays. And I got a popcorn bucket, which makes my popcorn cheaper. And honestly, sneak your drinks in, you know. Do like poor people. Sneak your candy and drinks in. But a lot of people will... Back in the day, theaters were packed. I remember the 90s, man. In early 2000s. Theaters, like, every movie was packed. All the time. It was rare that there would be, like, an empty theater. But because the economy sucks so fucking much, this is why Hollywood's dying. Like, you have to either read a review of wait till someone else watches it first, watch the review on YouTube, or read an article, a review, before you even go out and spend the money. Because, going to the theater, like, just for 2 tickets, popcorn, and 2 drinks, it's got to be at least, like, $50, you know? So, I mean, people are more careful on what they're consuming as far as, like, going to the actual theater, investing, or even renting movies, you know? Like, I don't know. You guys know the state of everything, because, like, it's not, I don't know. You see what I'm saying, though, so people are more careful. At 160.4 million worldwide, the film has reached just over half of that estimated break-even figure. So it barely has reached half of what they need to make to break even. And the movie's been out for like a week and a half now, meaning it's just going to do nothing but drop off more viewership. Because people are, like I said, watching reviews. Half the people are discouraged and don't even want to go out and see it now. So that number is just going to drop. I don't even think it... I don't know. I'd almost place bets that it might not even break even. You know? It's crazy. So, CinemaScore signals modest audience enthusiasm, matching recent titles like Masters of the Universe and The Grey. Meanwhile, younger demographics have largely stayed away, with under 17 attendance virtually non-existent, and only 14% of viewers aged 18 to 24. Like I said, that right there, and reading through people's comments, the only people who are watching this are old conspiracy theorists. And I mean, like, conspiracy theorists of, like, they grew up, or when they were younger, they used to listen to Art Bell. And, like, the deepest they go is, like, aliens and cryptids. Kind of like the dude that I work with, you know? The older guy that I work with. But it's just boomer conspiracy theorists who are watching this. I don't know. Spielberg's out of touch. He does not have his finger on the pulse of society, but I figured we would do at least one more episode on Disclosure Day. I wanted to cover basically it's flopping and probably won't even break even. So I guess one good thing is the PSYOP's not working, you know. Love y'all. Please like, share, and subscribe. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Y'all have a good day. I'm going to go to work.